Part 2 of covering a cake in fondant. If you missed part 1, we prepped the cake and rolled out the fondant. Now we're ready to fold it over our rolling pin and transfer it onto the cake. Place it in the middle of the cake and then roll it across the top. Now I like to smooth out the top a little with my fondant smoother. Also make sure the fondant is centered on the cake. If it's not, you can lift it up and adjust it a little bit. Now I press the top edge all the way around the cake, and I do this so the fondant doesn't start cracking because it is heavy and pulling down on the cake. Now very gently I start smoothing the fondant against the side of the cake and then turn it, and wherever I find a wrinkle I lift it away from the cake and then push down directly in the middle of the wrinkle very gently. And you're trying to flatten it out, but it's hard to do this all at once, so keep lifting the fondant away from the cake and going back and pressing the wrinkle back down. It does sometimes feel like you're undoing the work you've already done, but this is the best way I found to get rid of those wrinkles. Also, I'm not trying to pull on the fondant or pull it down over the cake. I'm trying to lift it up off the cake and then press it back onto the cake with my other hand, although sometimes it does look like I'm pulling on it. You don't want to do that. You'll notice the fondant has stretched a lot, and that's why I like to start with it 1/4 of an inch thick because it will stretch as we put it on the cake. Now I'm using the back of a paintbrush to push the bottom edge against the cake and using a pizza cutter or a fondant cutter at a 45-degree angle to trim the rest of the fondant off the cake in one even piece. I'm going to pull it off, and the cake is not done yet. At this point, I'm still going to spend about 5 minutes smoothing out any little bumps I see on the cake and working on the top edge to make it sharper. I usually cut this part out of my videos, but I'm showing you the whole process, although it is sped up 12 times. And now I'm happy with the cake. I hope this helps. Let me know if you want me to break down any parts of the process.